All right, everybody. I'm on location again, and I'm at the Plain Meeting House Baptist Church and Plain Meeting House Cemetery. Now, about 20 years ago, October 13th, 2020, me and my drunken friends decided to go for a little trip to visit the grave of a supposed vampire, Nellie Vaughn. And we came down, but unfortunately, they had the police were here, a bunch of people over there, and they were all lined up against this wall getting arrested for having a party. So we didn't get to see the grave. So I'm here today to complete that mission and to tell the tale of a supposed vampire that was, well, mistaken, to be honest. And I gotta be honest, this cemetery it looks better than what I've seen in YouTube videos. It's pretty peaceful here. Look at these old graves. Look at them. Look at that. 1852. So the Tillinghast, which actually is a vampire connection there, she was Rhode Island's first vampire, supposedly. I don't believe in vampires. It's a bunch of hoopla, but back then there was a thing called consumption, which turned out to be tuberculosis later in life, which is a bacterial infection. So this is interesting to be here. But back then in the 18th century, 19th century, they didn't know any better. They didn't have the medical advances that we have today. So people assumed that they were a vampire because at the time, this was all happening, and the hysteria, you know, it's almost like the Salem witch trials. They would, when you had consumption or tuberculosis, you looked like your life was draining from you. And in the old days, the vampires, well, the tales that were told were, it was more of a spirit that would drain the life out of you. It wasn't so much, you know, like we think, like Bram Stoker's Dracula, you know, that type of stuff, like the modern version of a vampire. It was more of a, you know, blood-sucking type thing. but this, in the old days, it was kind of a spirit sucking the life out of you. So in any case, I believe this one looks pretty modern, actually. This here, are they still burying people here? I don't know. Tillinghast again, 1953. Huh. It's very peaceful here, though. It's actually, I thought this was going to be it's pretty sad. Some of the graves are toppled over and that, but it looks like they've repaired it from the last videos I've seen, which is a good thing. So, I have found her grave, but if you're ever here, and you come in from the church over there, you can't miss the keep, and then the keep is right here, and then you see right here, 1896. Wow, these dates. So right here is where they are, and this is the infamous grave. And unfortunately, because people are stupid, they vandalize Nellie's grave, unfortunately. So as you can see, people are taking chips of it stupidly, but people have left coins and stuff, so at least there's some respect there. I really get annoyed when people kind of vandalize graves. I mean, what purpose is that serving other than you being an idiot? I know there's, you know, you want a piece of history, you know, with this, and unfortunately for Nellie was mistaken as a vampire because all this started in a high school in Coventry, I believe. I'll leave some links below that tell the story a little bit better than me. And supposedly the teacher got deathly quiet. That was eerie. There we go. Anyway, there's a chainsaw again, so I feel a little better. That got a little weird. But he was talking about a vampire, but he didn't give names. And he was probably talking about Mercy Brown, which is one that I will visit soon anyway. But for some reason, the high school students found out about Nellie, found out that she was a young woman who died at 19, And the rumor was that their grave was shallow, like this right here would be lower than everybody's else, and the grass wouldn't grow. That's not true, because you can see there's grass there and it looks about as even as everybody else. She didn't die of consumption or tuberculosis. She died of pneumonia, actually, which, you know, at the time, I believe when she died, she was originally buried on the farm, her parents' farm, but then her mother wanted to bury her in the local plot, so they moved her here. But there was no record of her being, you know, I guess being like showing vampire type things where she's consuming the life of her mother or brother or something like that, which is something that happened in Cumberland, and I'll talk about that vampire at some point. Nothing like that. It was just a case of them moving her to here. But for some reason, she was mistaken for a vampire, sadly. So now everybody assumes she's a vampire, and she's not, which is the real reason why I'm here, for two reasons. One, to complete the mission from 20 years ago on a Friday the 13th, 2000. Like I said, they were all lined up on that wall over there when I guess the high school kids had the same idea we did. I mean, my buddy Tim, Jeff, I, and Jessica were drunk in the back seat. Kathleen and her sister in the front seat. Thankfully, they were sober. And that night, I think we went to an insane asylum too, a haunted one. But it didn't work out that night. I just remember that was a weird night, and that's for another video. But in any case, this is where we came, and unfortunately we couldn't because they were all lined up there, and we never completed the task, and I never came back here for some strange reason. But and the second reason, third reason, whatever reason, I just lost track of what reasons I were. So that was that one, and then to prove, or at least educate that, you know, she was not a vampire. She was a human being. She unfortunately had pneumonia, and she died at a young age of 19. And it seems like she had peace up until the 1960s and 70s when everyone got into this whole legend of her and sadly mistaken identity. And now, sadly, she has no mocker here, which is unfortunate, to be honest, if you ask me, because everyone deserves some kind of a mocker, unless you don't want one. I'd like a giant one like that over there. That's kind of something I want. That's pretty cool. But anyway, my levels going there? Yeah, we're good. We're recording. Whew, my glasses are on, so I didn't think I was recording for a moment. But in any case, Nellie's here, and hopefully she's resting in peace, because it is a peaceful cemetery. Very quiet. But yes, this is Nellie Vaughn's grave. I'm gonna have to get a rock or something and put on her grave. To pay my respects here, and hopefully she's resting in peace. And now this big thing, if you're wondering what this is called a keep, and this is where, when the ground was frozen back in those days, they'd put the body in here until the ground thawed out, and then they'd, you know, lay you to rest. So that's what that is there, that giant thing. That's kind of your landmark if you come here. And I'll even give you this kind of view, so when you're coming in, you can see there's obviously my Jeep, there's the entrance, there's the church. It's kind of straight shot right there, you can't miss it. One of the videos I saw, there was no even this part of the stone. There was like, it was just, this was bare. This wasn't even here, so this seems to be new. It's too bad. And I gotta be honest, I don't get any creepy vibes or anything, other than the dead silence that I had there at the beginning of the video, or in the middle of the video, which was weird. But so this is one of Rhode Island's alleged vampires. She's not. I don't even know why she's on the tour, if you will, with the vampires of Rhode Island, because she doesn't belong on that. But it looks like they've repaired some of these. Unfortunately, this one got knocked over. See, this is a shame. I mean, if I won a lottery, like, you know, $1 billion or whatever, I'd have this cemetery fixed up. That's what I would do. It looks like they sealed the crypt up even more, or the keep. But I want to check out these graves over here, because these are like, when you think haunted house, you know, you do lawn decorations with headstones and that. This is kind of what you think. Right here. They look like they repaired that. Huh. These right here. I mean, look at how cool those are. And we got a Freemason over there. Now hopefully, I am not overexposed. I should have put the ND filter on, and I didn't think about that till about right now. So this video may be a little bit washy. Hopefully it's all right. I should have put the ND filter on. I didn't realize how bright it was going to be here. So I apologize for that. Next time when I'm out and about, I'll remember to do that. I should have done that, but I didn't. But anyway, so this is Nellie Vaughn. Hopefully she rests in peace. Hopefully people stop vandalizing her and causing a ruckus, because there's really no point to it. She's not a vampire. She was a human being, and unfortunately she passed at a young age, so stop doing it. Anyway, that's going to do it for this video. Hope you guys liked it. Another on location video. Yeah. I'm going to enjoy the peace here. I'll check you guys later.